It's not Elliot Spitzer though. It's a dirty ass system. Hmm? Everybody gets in trouble, but not for the same kind of reasons. It's I can't explain it. It's a very big idea, and I don't know how to distill it without sounding like a crazy conspiracy nut. But it's not a conspiracy. It's actual fact. You ever read this? You ever read this thing about Lincoln and Kennedy? Somewhere on the internet, you'll find it. It's a list of similarities between, like, you know what I mean? Like Abraham Lincoln's secretary's last name was Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary's last name was Lincoln. I used to be an usher at Ford's Theater where Lincoln got shot when I was in high school. I had nothing to do with the murder. But I just pay attention to these types of things. You know what I mean? Like the way they be trying to roll Barack over like he's Martin Luther King. That's a complete media phenomenon. I didn't draw that line. Martin Luther King was not an elected official. He wasn't. He was a chosen official, but he was not an elected official. That's the difference. Someone sees a young preacher this charismatic, they say, you know what, this guy could actually lead our movement. And at first they asked him, he said, I don't want to do it. They said, why don't you want to do it? Because I'm 22, bitch, I'm getting pussy, I'm having fun. But then eventually he's going to understand, like, this movement is bigger than him, and yet may not have been the same movement without just that one individual. Now, okay, here comes Barack. Barack runs, and it was just, that shit happens. You know what I mean? Can't explain it. Yes, I can. Barack runs against John McCain, right? Barack's campaign song is Stevie Wonder's Sign Seal Delivered, I'm Yours, right? Stevie Wonder sponsors a bill for the Martin Luther King holiday. John McCain is from the only state that refused the Martin Luther King holiday, the state of Arizona. Anyway, the point is, it's the same shit with all these people. Elliot Spitzer. How could he go to a call girl after he was busting prostitution rings in New York? I'll tell you how. Because he was the fucking attorney general. If you're the attorney general and someone puts a docket on your desk, he can't be like, I can't bust these people. I buy pussy. He just has to go and prosecute the case. That's his job. He wins cases. Of course, he's going to have political aspirations because he was good at what he did. And then Nas, remember when Nas went crazy on the radio and he said, Hot 97 is taking money to play these records and da-da-da-da-da. And everyone was like, Nas is insane. And Elliot Spitzer was like, I'm going to look into that. And Elliot Spitzer went in there and he was like, hey, these guys are taking payola. And they fucking ended the practice, the age-old practice of payola in radio. And then years later, he's going to get busted at the fucking Mayflower Hotel in Washington, D.C. buying pussy. Let me tell you something. I'm from D.C. You know Mayflower Hotel? That's where Marion Barry was smoking crack while he was fucking a girl that wasn't supposed to be. The point is this. Getting caught with a call girl at the Mayflower Hotel is like getting caught with a cheeseburger at McDonald's. Nigga, that is where you're supposed to do those kinds of things. And then the girl comes out with a MySpace page and she's like, oh, the reason I was sucking all these dicks is because I was trying to work on my music career. I'm a musician. I said a magician. She said musician, but I heard magician. Ladies and gentlemen, for my next trick, I'm going to suck a record contract out of an attorney general's dick. Ta-da, same label as Nas. And you know what's so crazy about that shit? Which brings me back to the whole thing I was saying in the first place, is that Elliot Spitzer was going to get prosecuted under the Mann Act. And that says it all. You know the Mann Act? The Mann Act? The Mann Act. Sherrod, you don't know the Mann Act? You better know. In your line of work, you need to know these things. The Mann Act is the law that says it's illegal to take a girl across state lines for purposes of debauchery. The Mann Act was written to get one man, and that man was Jack motherfucking Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion of the world. He used to beat the shit out of white men and leave the arena with white women in the 20s. It was amazing. He fucked the whole Matrix up. When Jack Johnson won the world championship, he chased the white champion. Back then, white champions would be like, I don't fight black people. It's beneath me. But really, they were scared to death. Jack Johnson was huge. And you seen them old tapes in them boxes. Them motherfuckers had that style like this. Jack Johnson moved like a modern person. You know, these motherfuckers, if I had a time machine, I could be the heavyweight champion in the world. Is this motherfucker pointing his fist at himself? I beat the shit out of these guys. It was amazing. I mean, if you watch some of these Jack Johnson, because back then, you know, they wasn't the same fight regulations. He would whoop their ass for hours. This was before cable television and all that shit. Just bop, 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 ew! And it was fucking amazing. And then he would leave the arena and he would openly have sex with white women all the time. Now, you think he would get persecuted for that, but they never touched him. Because the heavyweight champion of the world is the most prestigious title in sports. Period. You know who suffered for that? The white women. One killed herself. I mean, they fucking ostracized these women like you wouldn't believe. Just cut them off from everything they knew and loved for fucking around with Jack Johnson. And then they couldn't stop Jack Johnson. The headline of the paper say, Jack Johnson is it. They chased this nigga around. They made the man act. He had to flee the country. He was living in exile, couldn't fight anymore. When Muhammad Ali saw Jack Johnson's story on Broadway, he said, that is my story. If you change white women to Islam, he said, that is my story, right? Jack Johnson just got pardoned in 2005. Do you know who sponsored that bill? John McCain. Cleaning up from that Martin Luther King shit. I'm telling you, it's all fucking connected. It's a very flimsy system of pseudo or false morality. Is anybody in here gay? Get her!